All right. We obviously have gotten a great deal of input in the coverage of the storm from our viewers who've sent a lot of pictures, videos to report it. This is a picture right here of Leader Hill Drive, flooded out in Hamden. You could see a bus making its way slowly, some cars also, and we saw scenes like this across the state today.
Yeah, look at this. This is the Peabody Museum in New Haven. That's the parking lot flooded. The cars there just surrounded by water. Actually, when I got to the station here, it was similar to this. Did it look something like that? By the time I had gotten here, the water had gone down.
In our parking lot.
In our parking lot, too.
Yeah, it was like a river going.
Gil says it was like a river.
Okay, we've got this picture again. This is from Hamden. We got a lot from the New Haven, Hamden area. We got this from Kathy, and this is Dixwell Avenue that really was hard hit by the storm a little while back. A couple of cars stranded there in the high water.
And flooding also hitting Wallingford. This picture was sent in by Alicia. You see that man there walking through the high water with an umbrella. He might need a little more than that.
I don't know how much good that umbrella is doing out there. But all right, let's get the very latest on the storms, what they're doing right now from Steve.
All right, and I'm going to bring Gil into this because, Gil, I got to tell you, we're looking at the tornado warning on our radar, but just based on the latest images that we've been watching, it's not up to us. We don't get to take these down, but it looks like there's good reason to fear that the worst is probably over.
Well, I would agree with you, and one thing to highlight here, we're still getting some reports, Steve. Vernon and Manchester now, NWS reports trees down in these communities, okay? So Vernon and Manchester with damage now officially coming in and reported. So that's why they're holding what we're showing here with this red kind of rectangle. Again, we know, folks, those of you in New Haven, not a lot going on for you now. It's quiet. Bridgeport, Stamford, Torrington, down through New London, even places like Killingworth, Clinton as well. I know Mark Davis is watching us as well, even though over there around the Granbys, nothing going on. But it's focused in that red rectangle. It's heading over into Massachusetts, and if you have friends or family even over there in the Bay State, this thing is moving that way. But Steve pointed it out. I mean, it kind of looks like a donut on the screen here. Let's take this full if we can, so the folks at home can really see what I'm talking about. It's starting to really show signs of weakening, and I'm also looking at some of the wind profiles here as well. But we're still watching a couple of small areas right in here. Windsorville, this just to the west of Ellington as well. These are the areas that we're watching, and again, this thing's racing to the north at about 30 miles per hour. Tremendous rains on 91, straddling that from the Mass line all the way down through the Windsor Locks exits. If you are expecting someone in from a flight, or if you're getting up to the airport, just driving to and from, BDL up there will be very, very tough. Stafford Springs, we didn't forget about you. And, of course, paralleled, Steve mentioned this, we have this warning covering Yukon country there at STORs, Route 44, Route 6 as well. Let's drag this even down to Columbia and Windham. And this is the indication of some straight-line winds. But right now, looking at this radar imagery here, I would say this thing has weakened quite a bit from where it was just over the last 10 to 15 minutes ago as it continues to move northbound, heading for the Massachusetts line. Flash flooding's another issue with this, though, Steve.
Yeah, actually, as we switch over to our other weather computer, I can show you the latest flash flood warning. All right, there it is. It's that red box. Obviously, we had big flash flood concerns along the shoreline, southwestern Connecticut, New Haven earlier today. Well, now the flash flooding threat is eastern Hartford County and then east right into Tolland and Windham counties. Anyone watching us in this red box, be aware you are under a flash flood warning right now. And a flash flood warning is not a flash flood watch. A flash flood warning means flash flooding is happening right now. In addition, we need to report this to you. We officially have a tornado watch until 9 p.m. for most of Connecticut, New Haven and Hartford, then to the east,
Steve,
Tolland, Windham, Middlesex, and New London counties.
What do you think? I think they're going to end up dropping this. I think
Absolutely.
They kind of pulled the trigger on this just with this nasty line coming up, expecting the fact that we'd have a few warnings. I'm not so convinced why they're going to hold this till 9 o'clock, so we can hope that they're going to drop this. And well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to kind of head out because I could use a little rest. I think looking at the severe parameters here, this thing looks to be just about wrapped up. So, again, appreciate the coverage, Steve, and I'm going to let you handle it.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you, Gil. We appreciate it.
It's been a long day since 1 a.m., you know what I mean?
I like, you went out on a high note, though. That's very good. Yeah, you know, Gil was here earlier today, obviously, because he was wrapping up the noon show, and there were indications that we had some big-time storms. I think the first thing we wondered about was why wasn't a flash flood warning issued when we were getting that pounding rain in New Haven, and then finally that came out, and that kind of made us feel a little bit better. And then we were watching those really nasty storms over Long Island, and we had 2 tornado warnings issued in Long Island, one in central Long Island and one out in eastern Long Island. And we were wondering just how far north these storms would make it, and one of those storms pushed toward the New Haven area. Still no warnings were issued. It got into the Guilford area, still no warnings. And then we saw our first tornado warning once it got north of Interstate 95. And what you're taking a look at right now on the screen, these are the latest watches and warnings. You can see it on our radar. And I want to show you the big view of radar. Watch this rain. There it goes. You know, we've got some trailing rain right now stretching into portions of Tolland, Windham counties, into New London County. But check out where that really nasty line is. It's right up toward the Massachusetts border. We're talking about portions of Hartford and Tolland counties. And this is going to be out of here in about the next 15 minutes. And again, as Gil and I were talking about, just to make it clear to people at home, we don't put out warnings here at Storm Team 8. The National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, they get together, they put out a warning, we report on the warning. And as long as there is a warning in Connecticut, we have to focus on it. So when we tell you we think the warning should be taken down, it hasn't been taken down yet. And as long as there's a warning, we need to report on it. That's the tornado warning on your screen right now. Portions of Hartford and Tolland counties. That's the severe thunderstorm warning, portions of Tolland and Windham counties. Here's the tornado watch. As Gil was saying, that's probably going to come down long before 9 p.m. But the National Weather Service was making sure that everyone was on guard. And again, we have this flash flooding concern, a flash flood warning in effect for eastern Hartford, all of Tolland, and all of Windham counties. And that is in effect right now where we have flash flooding occurring as we speak.
All right, Steve, thank you. We're obviously hearing a lot from our viewers this afternoon with what's going on. We've got a lot of pictures, videos from Report It. Want to take a look at some of these images. This is Middletown. You're looking at Route 9 where, as you can see, both sides of the highway flooded out. This was right around exit 12. Some people still trying to get through despite all that water.
Yeah, a short time ago we had spoken with Lieutenant Vance, and he was telling us that his troopers are keeping an eye on that area as well to help drivers. Also, an incoming Shoreline East train stuck on flooded tracks away from State Street Station right there. That's what this photo is.
All right, we got this from Bonnie in Stratford. Roads and parking lots of a number of stores and shops flooded out along Boston Avenue. Again, that in Stratford.
And look at this. This is the McDermott Auto Group in East Haven. That's their lot underwater. This was sent in from Danielle. A lot of folks going to have a lot of drying out to do. Now, for articles and more dealing with the severe weather we get during the summer, just come to our website. Log on to WeatherEdge, WXEdge.com.